Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, April 12th, 2021. We are in the first day of the new trading week and the final hour of the current trading day. The final hour of the current trading day is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions based upon the closing price or very close to the closing price. And the reason why I prefer to do that is because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take control away from the price. They take the price control away from the day traders on the algorithm, and they control the price. And I believe where they move the price is the best price of the day to make your buying and selling decisions. So thank you all for coming today. I hope you're all having a nice day. I appreciate you being here. I always look forward to this time of the day. I think we have such a great group and so many great contributors. And so thank you for coming. All right. Currently, the Dow is down 111 points. It's down 0.33%. The NASDAQ is down 80 points, down 0.58%. And the S&P is down 9 points, down 0.23%. So red across the board today. So here is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have one day trade today early on QLD, and I will show you that. I have not been day trading too much today. I've been busy with other things. After that, we're going to go over to the board where my students have their current positions on there. I'm looking over there right now. I guess more red than green, but still some green. So we'll go through each one and we'll see how they are looking. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. I like to carve out a few minutes every day to talk about trader psychology because it really is the most important skill that you can learn in trading. No doubt, I'm not fibbing. When it all comes out in the wash, it really depends on how you followed your trade plan. There's lots of different trade plans. There's a lot of different ways to come up with the trade and what you're going to do and how you're going to get in and how you're going to get out, or if you're going to scale in or whatever. There are lots of different ways to do that. But regardless of the method, once you have a method and it's based upon good trading principles, then you have to follow it. And that's where people get into trouble. So we'll talk a little bit about trader psychology. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I've gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. And I do have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, I need a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, I need a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. It's an extremely important part of this equation. And then number 3, more ethereal things. Is it a good clean trade? Do I know where my emergency stop is? Do I know where my end of day stop is? Where are my profit targets, if any? Where is the overhead resistance? Do I already have multiple current positions in the same industry? Am I already correlated? How much account heat do I have? Or in other words, how much of my total capital is already allocated toward positions? Because any position you have is a risk, right? Any position you have is a risk. So keep that in mind. All right. So using those 3 criteria, I am going to go down through the end of day candidates that I have. I'll go down through each one. I'll try to narrow it down to the very, very best one near the end of the day. If I find something, I will go ahead and buy it before the close. After the close, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, I'm happy to take a look at them and give you my opinion on them. So put them in the chat and I'll do my very best to get to them before the close of the day. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new positions that they want me to update on the board, any new ones, or if they want me to take some off, just wait till the end of the day. Wait till the market is closed. That way I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, pressure's off, and we'll take as much time as we need to get them all taken care of. All right, sound like a plan? So hang with me for about 40 seconds. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer and I'll be back in about 40. See you soon. Bye. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast here, and here. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see who is here today. Lova is here. Nice to see you, Lova. Hope you are having a good day, my friend. Dan is here. Hello, Greg and everyone. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. Steve Burns is here. Nice to see you, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here, Steve. Appreciate everything that you do for the channel. Hope you, Holly, and the dogs are all doing well. And Steve says, hello, traders. Hello, Steve. Steve says, I exited NVIDIA at 598.38 for a 7.28% gain as the chart ran into resistance intraday near the 70 RSI. So Steve, let's see, I know I have NVIDIA on here. Whoa, what a big day. Whoa, unbelievable, fantastic. And you 598, okay. All right, so you exited a little bit earlier in the day. He used the 1030 EMA crossover. What a huge monster day up on that. Congratulations, Steve. So, all right, so Steve exited that. We'll take that off the board. All right. Nice trade, Steve. Beautiful. All right. Kamal says, hey, Greg and everyone. Hello, Kamal. Good to see you, bud. Appreciate everything that you do for this channel as well. I know I say it every day, but I really mean it. And hope you're having a good day. Johan says, hello, everyone. Hi, Johan. Good to see you, my friend. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. David says, hello, Gregorian traders. Nice to see you, David. Steve says, Baba currently has a 520 crossover. Yeah, Baba had some news, didn't it? So let me write that down. Let's take a look at it real quick. Oh, yep, it does have a 520 crossover. It's up at 8.93% today. That one's a little bit steep for my blood. It's above the second ATR. I don't take crossovers when they're over the second ATR channel. Not always the right decision. I can tell you that. Sometimes they just go on up without me, but you know, I just have certain levels where it just makes it easy on me mentally. I'm like, oh, that one's above the second. I can't buy it. Doesn't mean it can't go up, and it does have a crossover. Dan says, am I the only one seeing a spinning circle in the middle of the screen? I don't know. I don't see one. Mamal says, hi, Greg and group. Good to see you, Mamal. Kamal says, Beyond Meat with a giraffe. Beyond Meat does have a false breakout to the downside and a V1 and a rejection to the -1 ATR channel. Yes, that looks pretty good. This bar here concerns me though. The big down bar on the volume, Kamal. I looked at this earlier and I did notice this. I mean, it is a false breakout to the downside. It is a nice V1. It is a nice rejection of the -1 ATR channel. MACD is green. That all looks good. The only thing that concerns me is the halfway of this big down bar right here. That's the only thing that would drive me away from that. Leva says, Angie, does that have a 520 crossover? 1478 to 1478. Let me see. I can test this real quick if it allows me to. I don't know if it will. No, I can't backtest ANGI. Usually they have to be a little bigger stocks, but let's see what Leva has to say about it anyway. 520 crossover, check. Return to value, yes, it's returned to value from below the -1 ATR channel. So at this point, I'd be looking for a higher low V1. There's a big red bar from 2 weeks ago, but it was mostly filled by a big green bar on day 6. Yeah. On heavy volume, yes. Also, the weekly is in an uptrend. Yep. The only thing concerns me though, Leva, see the big down bar we have, and we're right at halfway of that. That's what concerns me on this chart. And if you have the ability to test the 520 crossover, by all means, that would definitely be helpful. It looks like it went under 50, over 50. Not too shabby. Good analysis, love it. Jonathan says, evening, Greg and group. Hello, Jonathan. Nice to see you. Kamal says, you. Pretty good. Jonathan, I saw you on there. We closed below the -1 ATR channel. We rally into the value zone. We come back down. We make a higher low. We make a higher low V1 rejection of the -1 ATR channel. That one's pretty good. That is definitely pretty good. I'm going to write that one down. Let me do a little math on that as well. Yeah, that looks good, Kamal. That is a nice higher low V1. Let's look over on the weekly. Well, it's consolidating in this range. It is up on a down day, right? So relative strength is good. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Kamal. Steve says IBB back near the 200-day support again. Yes, it did bounce right at the 200. So that's a deep dip buy with a bounce at the 200, and it held last time at the 200 as well. Steve says, great trade, Steve, with NVIDIA. I 100% agree. Steve says, India earnings stunning gap down today. I actually have that one right here. Yeah, it was consolidating, moving sideways, and sideways movement leads to big moves, and this one happened to be to the downside. Wow. Wow, wow. Momal says, Dan, nope, not seeing spinning circles. Steve says, KMX, new 520 EMA crossover today. I did see that one. I have it on my list. Steve says the Angie 520 crossover does backtest great, 177% versus -8% buy and hold. So there you go, Leva. Thank you for that, Steve. Lilia is here. Hi, Lilia. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Leva says, thank you, Steve. All right, let's get going. All right, well, I started out with AGQ on a false breakout to the downside, V2 back up into the value zone, rejection of the 50-day moving average on the weekly. I bought it on Friday, which is the close of the week, at 43.96. It's currently 42.20, down 3.94% today. So not a great start to this trade, but again, I make my final decisions on Friday, although I do have an emergency stop here in case it gets to my emergency stop before Friday comes, but I want to make my end of day stops, or I'm sorry, my end of day stops because it's a weekly. I'm going to do it halfway of the washout bar. That's where the support should lie, but not a good start. Not a good start to this trade at all. And it looks like Gary's in there with me as well. Boeing, Kamal and I, is that all? Yeah. Kamal and I did take Boeing back here 2 days ago, back on the 8th, with a return to value, false breakout to the downside, V1. My stop is halfway of the washout bar, which is 252.20, and it just unfortunately closed over the stop, which kept me in the trade. This definitely looks like it's going to close below halfway of the washout bar, barring some big change at the end of the day. So I will be getting out of Boeing for a loss. I bought it at 254.83. It's currently at 248.57. So this trade as of right now is down 2.51%. But you know, you have to keep those losses small. So I will be exiting this at the end of the day. Berkshire Hathaway. All right. So I did buy Berkshire. I did buy Berkshire Hathaway back here with a beautiful setup, return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside from the low of this range, plus a V1. I bought it at 250.86, moved up, went past my 1.5 ATR trailing stop, When that happened, I get out with a half of a position if I close below the previous day's low, which happened here, but then had another nice leg up. And this one did hit a profit target today. It's 267.97. So from entry to current price, this trades 6.33%. So that one's looking good. We are at a 70.33 RSI today, so I am going to have to watch this. If this closes below this, if we get a sell-off at the end of the day and it closes below the 70 RSI, I will take another half of my profits off. So I have to watch BRKB here at the end of the day. Budweiser. All right, I bought Budweiser at 62.91. It's 64.92. I bought this on the weekly with a higher low V2. We closed below the -1 ATR channel. We rallied into the value zone. We had a couple bars down. We had a nice V2 here while MACD was positive. I bought it at 62.91. It's 64.91. So it is up 3.28% on this monthly trade. And we also have Johan, Frank, Gary, and David. But it is down a little bit today. Down a little bit today, but up on the trade. Gold. Well, gold's been a wild one, unfortunately. Am I the only one in gold? Good. I did buy gold with the 520 crossover. I bought it at 162.75. Next day had a big day up. Beautiful day up. Hit a couple profit targets. Next day, reversal right back down, but the price did hold above the 5 and the 20. Right now, the price is below the 5 and the 20, but the 5 is still above the 20. So whenever the price closes below both the 5 and the 20, or whatever moving average I was using to enter the trade, I will have to go ahead, unless it has a rally at the end of the day, I will have to go ahead and get out of half of my position. Only half, not the full position. I give these moving average crossovers a little bit room to run, but this is a bad sign, so I am going to take a precautionary measure and get rid of half. GPN. All right, Lilia and I did buy GPN with this confluence of signals, V2, 520 crossover, false breakout to the downside, bought it at 207.72. It's 214.03. It's up 0.334% today, and it is up about 2.86% on the trade. Got very close to hitting a profit target, didn't get there, but I did hit my trailing stop level. I'm 1.5 ATRs above my entry. So at this point, it's nice because it puts me into trailing stop mode. So if I get a close below the previous day's low, I will get out of half of the position. But doesn't look like it's doing that today, so I'll be holding it. So good for that trade. Light, Lilia and I took a return to value, false breakout to the downside, V1 bullish engulfing bar trade on the weekly, 91.74. It's 92.10. It is up a little from entry, not much. Is it up today? Yeah, it is up today as well. So up on the day, up on the trade. So happy with that. Netflix. I did buy Netflix along with Tracy and Jonathan with this deep dip buy, rejection of the 200-day moving average. I bought it at 511.81, and this has just been a monster. It has just gone up and up and up. Little bit down today. I have reached my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. Let me see. What was the RSI back over here? Okay, so we haven't got to 65 RSI yet, but I am in trailing stop mode, so if I get a close below the previous day's low, I will get out of half. The Qs. All right, so Frank, Steve, David, and I did buy the Qs. I think Frank, David, and I bought it here at 313.82 with this false breakout to the downside, V2, bought it at 318.82. Steve bought it at, where did Steve? 318.92. He bought it a little bit later with the 520 crossover, but both signals have worked out well. It is down 0.29% today, but so far this trade on that first trade up 6.73%. So really good trade on that. SPY. Of course, I do the overnight SPY trade. I buy the SPY at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. Small little loss here. I bought it at 411.49 on Friday. Sold it at 410.86 today for a small loss. I will be buying that again at the close. And then lastly, I did have a day trade on QLD. It was to the short side earlier in the day, way back here. I shorted it on the 5-minute bar when we had this V2. Here's bar 1, 2, 3. 2 washes out 1, 3 closes below day 1's close. We also had a 520 cross under. We also had a over 50, under 50. It lost the support of the 50. So I shorted it here at 129.71. A couple bars later, I took some profits lower at 129.34. Had another bar that broke to the downside. Took profits there at 129.12. Then I had a close above the previous day's high. Closed that out at 129.51. And then the last little bit of the trade I had, once it got back to even, I just got out at even. So nice profitable trade. Shorted at 129.71, covered at 129.51, covered at 129.34, covered at 129.12. And so that was it for my day trades today, but not too shabby at all. All right. Gary is here. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. Hi, Gary. Good to see you. Yavar is here. Nice to see you, Yavar. Give me 1 sec. I have to turn something off. Excuse me. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Well, let's head over and see. Oh, there we go. Frank has a poem for us. Perfect. Thank you, Frank. Always appreciate these poems, my friend. Let's let me paste this in here and let me see what Frank has for us today. You know it's going to be good. Frank says, April brings its showers, but knowledge is what empowers. It enriches the trader's time with each passing hour and grants you a view from the highest tower. It's what makes a portfolio grow and flower. Oh man, how good is that? Let's read it one more time. April brings its showers, but knowledge is what empowers. It enriches a trader's time with each passing hour and grants you a view from the highest tower. It's what makes a portfolio grow and flower. Wow. Just awesome, Frank. Just really great. Thank you so much, sir. Just always so impressive that you can do that every day. It's just unreal. What a gift. All right, let's take a look at current positions here. Jonathan and Kamal and Bruce did buy DocuSign with the close under 250, over 250. Bought it at 202.40. It's currently 212.83, so it was a deep dip buy. It did reach trailing stop level today, so now I will go into trailing stop mode, which means if I get a close below the previous day's low, I will sell half. My end of day stop is a close below the 250-day moving average. So this trade up nicely today, the trade so far up just a little over 5%. Riot. Gary sold credit spreads on Riot, the 45, 42, 50s. It's 54.34 expiring April 16th. So this was up about 10% earlier in the day, gave back a lot of it, but Gary's good until it gets to anywhere beneath $45, between 45 and 42.50. So still, he's probably still up on the trade. I hope so. Not 100% sure. Team. Kamal had a nice higher low V2 on team at 224.20. It's 230.50. It's up 2.26% today. Very nice trade. Kamal did reject the 50-day moving average, holding the 50 RSI. Apple down a bit today. David bought Apple at 127.90. Steve bought Apple with the 1030 crossover at 130.22. Had a big day up on Friday. Came back a little bit off today, down 1.8%, but both Steve and David are nicely in the money. Goldman Sachs. Lilia bought Goldman Sachs back on the 8th at 331.40. It's currently 330.90, so it is slightly down on the trade, but it's slightly up on the day. GNRC, Steve bought GNRC at 329.49 with the 520 crossover. It's currently 327.97, so down a little today and down a little on the trade. Clove, Johan and Kamal bought Clove with this false breakout to the downside. V2 bought it at 757. Moved sideways, didn't do much. Then we had that huge up bar, and now it's given back a little bit, down 5.24% today. So it's down on the day, but still up on the trade for Johan and Kamal. PKI. All right, who do we have in PKI? We have Jonathan. Yep, we have Jonathan that bought at 127.90. He sold half at the close there at about 130.30. It's rallied off since there. So it is down a little bit on the day, but it is up on the trade for Jonathan. So congratulations. SCSO, Gary Tracy bought SCSO with the 520 crossover at 72.38. It is currently 70.23, so it's down today, also down on the trade. Square is just running like crazy. Johan and Gary bought Square with the 520 crossover back here on the 6th at 236.60. It's 264.95. It's up 1.27% just today, and so far on the trade up 10.81%. So congratulations, Gary and Johan. And Gary also sold covered calls up at 245. So he's getting the premium from that, but it's also limiting a little bit of his profits because of the strike price there. AYX, Kamal bought AYX on the 9th with the higher low V1 false breakout to the downside. He bought it at 85.40. It's 85.71. So it is up on the day, and it is up so far on the trade. Lemonade, Lilia bought Lemonade at 89.50. Bullish and golfing bar. Moved up nicely, kind of hung up there, but today came back down, went a little under Lilia's entry price, but it is back up slightly by about 26 cents. So it is down on the day, but is still technically up on the trade. I don't know if Lilia took any profits, but there were certainly some areas to do that there. AMD, oy vey. David bought AMD at 81.50. Glad that he sold half Friday at about 82.75. Really glad for that, because today I don't know what happened to AMD, but it's not so hot tamale for sure. Down 5.53% today. So luckily it's only half. He locked in some profits on half. This one's down further than the profits he made, but still, you know, we saw the rejection of the 50. That's a bit of a warning sign, so I'm really thrilled David took off half to mitigate this loss today. BYD. All right, this is Tracy and Paxton. This has been a long trade. They bought this all the way back here. It's been a great trade. 47.80. They sold half at 58.60. Went up a little bit, came all the way back down, had a nice leg up, is down a little bit today, but obviously still nicely up on the trade. TQQQ. Steve bought TQQQ with the 520 crossover at 95.49. It's 106.36. It's down 0.84% today, but the good news is it's up over 10% on the trade with the triple leverage Qs. Very, very good. ELY. Frank bought ELY with the false breakout to the downside, higher low V1. He bought it at 27.75. It's 27.92. So it is up on the day, up on the trade. CMG. Frank also bought Chipotle, 520 crossover at 14.52. It's 15.36. He bought a half position, then sold a half position. Big reversal bar here today, but this trade is up 5.64% roughly. NVAX, speaking of Frank, also had an NVAX trade, a fantastic trade that he bought at 135, more than doubled. He sold 90% up here, luckily, when it was in the high numbers. Kept 10% for a runner just to see what happened. Has come way off of that, but luckily he sold 90% up here. And ALKS, oh yeah, nothing on ALKS. All right, so a little bit of a mixed bag, but there is some green even with the Dow being down. So currently we're down 90 points on the Dow, about 70 points on the NASDAQ, and about 6 points on the S&P. Dan says, Frank equals coolness. I 100% agree. Quad is here. Good to see you, Quad. Happy Monday, Greg and group. Nice to see you, Quad. Hope you are doing well. Hope life is all good and things are great. Okay, let's see. Gary says, Greg, I'm currently up 58.5% in Riot with 4 days left on the options contract. Very, very nice, Gary. So that's Riot. Oh, that's okay. For some reason, I was looking at April. I thought it was further out in April. So very nice. Way to go. Dan says, Gary, wow. Thanks, Dan. Jonathan says, Intel and AMD down due to NVIDIA's plan to enter CPU market. I see. Let's take a look over here at Intel. Oh, yeah. Steve says, Dash and FVRR 520 EMA crossover. Yes, it definitely is. Let me do a little math on that. And what was the other one? FVRR. Yeah, we had a great trade on FVRR a while back. 223.66, 223.52. So yes, that is a crossover. So let me do a little math here as well. All right, and then let me add these down here. These over here like that, and I will put in Dash and FVRR. Okay, good. We have some good end of day candidates to look at. Okay, so listen, speaking of Steve Burns, I saw this post from Steve and I think it was really great. And by the way, if you've not followed Steve on Twitter, please do yourself a big favor and do so. It is totally free and Steve posts great information. He is at S. Joseph Burns over on Twitter. So, or just look him up, Steve Burns. Let's read what Steve has to say. Profitable traders have holding power for winners and loss cutting power for losing trades. So we have two powers. I love it because Kamal's superpower, as we've discussed, Kamal's superpower is being able to get out when his stop loss hits. Sounds easy, but a lot of people can't do it. A lot of people can't do it. Either their ego gets in the way or they think they're right. I guess that's part of being in their ego as well. But, I mainly talk about getting out quickly when you're wrong, right? I mean, obviously we need to do that. That is a skill. That is a superpower. But, what I liked about Steve's trade here is that he says profitable traders also have holding power for winners. So, I don't talk about that as much, and I guess I really should, but there's two superpowers that you can have. Cutting losses. I have that superpower. I know a lot of people that have that superpower. Holding power is just as important to the upside. And that's where I've always had a challenge. I mean, that's why I phase out of positions, because that helps kind of compensate. to help me hold, because you do have to you do have to have holding power as well, so that you can occasionally have some big wins that will pay for all your little losses. So, we talk about cutting losses, right? We talk about stop loss power, of getting out when your stop loss is there, and it's true. But keep in mind, you have to have holding power in winners as well. And if you're not able to hold them, you need to work on that, whether that's phasing out or, I don't know, locking up your computer until the end of the day. I don't know, right? But we have to have power. To be a profitable trader is not easy. You have to have a lot of emotional control. And just like here, you have to have loss cutting power, and you have to have holding power. So, reflect on that. If you're not able to hold stocks very long, kind of think about that. Spend some time, reflect on it, and remember, you also have to have holding power as well as stop loss cutting power. So thank you very much, Steve. That was helpful for me. Hope that's helpful for everyone else. All right, let me quickly look here at current positions before I get interested in any new ones. AGQ weekly down 3.66%, but still holding my stop loss. BA, higher low V1 false breakout to the downside. This looks very likely. I'm going to have to lock in losses on this because it's closing below my stop of 252.20. So that looks like that will be on the chopping block as well. Berkshire Hathaway's doing great. I do have to watch it though at 70.13. It got right to the 70. It got right to that important level where I needed it to get. If it holds, then I'll just hold it. I'm talking about holding power, right? But if it does reject the 70 today on an intraday basis and close below 70, and anything could happen in the next 20 minutes, I will have to go ahead and lock in half profits. Budweiser is fine, doing well on the monthly. GPN, fine. I'm at trailing stop level, which is great. That makes that trade a lot easier, but nothing to do there. Light, up a little on the trade. Hasn't really moved much, but there's nothing I have to change there today. MasterCard, it's doing great. It's at my trailing stop level. I'll be looking for closes below the previous day's low, but nothing I have to do right this second on MasterCard. Netflix, looking for a close below the previous day's low. Look, right now it looks like it's holding. Q's, holding inside bar today, which is interesting. And then of course SPY. I'll be buying SPY today at the close like normal. All right, so here we go. These are the potential end of day candidates. We have U, which is Unity Software. We closed below the -1 ATR channel. We rallied into the value zone. We pulled back. We have a nice V1. Do we have a false breakout to the downside? Yes, we do. So far, we have a false breakout to the downside. This one looks pretty good. MACD is positive. If we look over on the weekly, it's moving sideways, so it's in a base. It did hold the -2 ATR channel. So that one definitely looks like a possibility. EDU had a V1, higher low V1 on Friday already. MACD has crossed over today. I think I remember seeing this one. I didn't take it, but I don't really see anything on EDU. Paycom. Paycom had a had a 520 crossover here. It had a higher low V2 on Friday. It is down a little bit. It did reject the 50-day moving average. It's coiling in this tight range here, which would expect me to think that it would move strongly one way or the other, but I really don't see anything here today on Paycom. Like, it looks pretty good, but when I try to analyze it, it rejected the 50-day moving average, it rejected the 50 EMA. It already had its V1, so I think I'll let that one alone. VIX, I'm looking for an under 30, over 30 on VIX. We are still back under 30 at 29. It's down 9 cents today. It was up pretty strongly earlier. Hasbro, I tried to backtest Hasbro. It does have a nice V1. It does have a 520 crossover. It does have a false breakout to the downside. It's up on a down day. We've gone red-green on the bars. If we look at the weekly, it's a V1 on the weekly. Not a great one, but a V1 nonetheless inside the value zone. Looks like earnings are coming up on the 27th, so they're coming up, but they're not too close. Hasbro's okay. Sunrun Incorporated, nice little bounce off of the 250-day moving average. That's about all it has though. Lost the 50-week moving average on the weekly charts. MACD crossed under today. Nah, I don't think so. Goldman Sachs, looking for a 520 crossover today. Right now it's 329.91 compared to 330.02. So not quite a crossover. This does back test well. If it rallied at the end of the day, I would definitely consider buying Goldman Sachs, but I'm glad it's up for Lilia today. CarMax does have the 520 crossover. Let me share this with you. All right, here's the back test on CarMax, 520 crossover, ran the test. Buy and hold 15,496, but the 520 crossover still returned 5,782%, had less of a drawdown. So that one is definitely a potential as well. CHKP has a 520 crossover. I think I tried to backtest that. I couldn't backtest that. That looks pretty strong. It's a V2. It did go under 50, over 50, has the crossover. It's in a base on the weekly. That's not too bad. I don't know. I don't think I can backtest that one though. CHKP. CHKP. And I'm using this by permission, by the way. Yeah, ETF is not available. So, all right. So that one I am just going to take off the board for myself. Dash has the 520 crossover, as Steve mentioned. Big, huge, strong day here, up 4.83%. Let's look over on the weekly. Up above the 5-day moving average. That does look pretty good. Two big, strong days up to get there, though. Got really close to that second ATR channel. I mean, we could get to there. There's no doubt we could get up to about 158. So I'll keep that in the potential category. Fiverr, 223.96 compared to 223.60. So that, let's see, FVRR. FVRR. Oh, that one I cannot backtest. Good risk to reward ratio here on that 520 crossover for sure. Only about 289,000 shares traded. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly's in the value zone, holding tight. That does look fairly good. Okay, so here's the question. What is the best setup for today? You know, I like to just take one setup. I don't like to take two setups. I will take two setups if I take a half a position each. So Unity in the value zone, it's holding this range. It still has the 5 EMA above on the weekly. It does have a nice V1 with the rejection of the -1 ATR channel, and it is currently a false breakout to the downside from this low here as well. Has plenty of shares traded. MACD is positive. It does look pretty good actually. All right. So that's potential. Hasbro has a nice little setup here, but when I tried to back test it, I don't think I can back test it on here. Hasbro, nope, can't back test that one. Under 50, over 50. False breakout to the downside. 520 crossover. That all looks pretty good. Goldman Sachs does not quite have the crossover, so I can put that over here. KMX does have a crossover. It's in a pretty good, decent place. Over on the weekly, we had that big down bar worth the second ATR channel on the weekly. On the daily, filled that gap. Dash has, it looks good. It just looks a little chasey to me after these two big bars. And Fiverr 224.05 to 223.26. Looks like it rejected the 50 RSI today, which really doesn't matter when you're looking at crossovers, but it still does factor into my head. I like that Unity's up on a down day. I like that Hasbro's up on a down day. You know, I think my favorite one here is Hasbro because of the false breakout to the downside, the under 50, over 50, the 520 crossover, the rejection of the 50, the green to the red bars. I would have to say Hasbro is probably my favorite position at this point. Dash looks really good and really strong, but boy, it's moved strong already. And we rejected that second ATR channel. They're very close already. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with either you or Haas or both. To come over here and check on Berkshire to see whether or not we're holding that 70, which we are, so that all looks okay. Boeing, yeah, I'm gonna have to sell Boeing. Hasbro and Unity. All right. I think I'm going to go with Hasbro today. I don't think I'm going to go with Unity. I think I'm just going to go with Hasbro. Steve says Dash and Fiverr 520 crossovers. Kamal says I'm going to buy Unity today. Johan says Teledoc. Yeah, false breakout to the downside and a V1 there as well. That looks pretty good as well. Berkshire Hathaway making a new high on the day, which is good, and looks like it's holding the 70. Lova says the Angie 520 crossover has validated, and as you heard, Steve said that did backtest well. So that's good. So we have about 8 minutes to go. Oh, I'm going to have to buy my SPY manually. I did not remember to do that. Okay. So we have about 6 minutes. Looks like Berkshire is holding. I got rid of Boeing. So I am out of Boeing with the close below halfway of the V1 washout bar that I took. So I had to take a loss there. $47 by 2. Okay. Okay. right, so Steve exited. Okay, so I'll get to those when we're done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy SPY because I forgot to program that in. I just have a feeling I'm going to forget if I don't do it. All right. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead here and buy Hasbro. Okay. All right, so it looks like I'm all taken care of there. Berkshire Hathaway, good, good, good. One minute to go. Looks like Berkshire's holding. We have about 10 seconds on my end. All right. That is it. Okay. So, I did buy Hasbro at 97.09 and I bought SPY, overnight SPY trade at 411.47. All right, so Hasbro. V1, false breakout to the downside, 520 crossover, bullish engulfing bar, rejection of the 50, all pretty good stuff. Entry price 97.09. And then overnight SPY trade at 411, oops, 411.47. 411.47. Okay, so there's my new entries for today, and then I did get out of Boeing. I took a loss on locked in Boeing. It closed under my V1, halfway the V1, so that one comes over here, and we are done with that one. And everything else I kept. So if any of my students, if they have any new entries or exits for me today, this would be the time to go ahead and just put them in the live stream. I'll get them taken care of. Just real quick, 3 quick pieces of business. One, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. So if you are interested in taking my one-on-one course, it's a great course. It's 15 hours. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. I teach you all 5 of my strategies that I use. I teach you step by step so that you know exactly what to do, how many shares to buy, where's your emergency stop, where's your end of day stop, where are your profit targets, where are your overhead resistance levels, how do you handle your trailing stops. And I have each strategy I have is very different. Some are deep dip buys, some are trend following, some are false breakouts to the downside. It's all the stuff we do here, but I really teach you in depth. I know I don't have the time in this podcast to teach you in depth. So, if you're interested, send me an email. The course is $1,750, but for what you get in the attention that you get and being able to work with me one-on-one, like it's good. It's the best way to learn, and I think it's worth every penny. So if you're interested, send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter, and if you do, either way, the email or Twitter, I'll reply back, say, hey, thank you for saying hi. Let's set up a Skype call. In the Skype call, I just want to learn more about you, your trading, what your trading challenges are, what your goals are, and then it's a great time for you to ask me questions about the course. And then after the call, you can think about it as long as you want. If you decide you want to get back with me, we'll get it scheduled. Number 2, I do have a new online course available on udemy.com. It's a great course. It's the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's 9.5 hours of video, 15 study guides, 26 videos total. And it's a great course. I've been getting a lot of great reviews, really good feedback. And if you want to learn one of my favorite setups, it's the deep dip buy stock trading approach. And so it's on sale right now at Udemy. It's somewhere between $12 and $15. It's like the best 12 or 15 bucks you'll ever spend. So the link to the Udemy course is in the description here. And then lastly, if you liked today's podcast, if you found something helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. I've been having a problem with YouTube. I get lots of thumbs up, and then at the end of the day, they're all taken away magically by YouTube. I don't know why that is. It's kind of a bummer. But if you like today's podcast, if you could hit the thumbs up button, that would really be nice of you, and I would sincerely appreciate it. Okay, let's go over and see what's happening and what everyone did today. Okay, so Steve. Okay, we got Steve. We already got Steve out of NVIDIA, right? Yes. Okay, Steve exited GNRC for a 0.46% loss. Okay, so let's start with that. GNRC, small loss there. Good trade, Steve. We'll take that off the board. Okay, Dash. Steve is in Dash at 147.09. Oh, good entry. 147.09. Okay, got that. He's in Fiverr, FVRR. We had a great trade on Fiverr last time we had Fiverr. Steve is in the crossover with the 520 at 225.29. All right, good trade there, Steve. Hope that works out well for you. All right, so Angie's list is Frank, 520 cross, and most importantly, it's my sister's name. That is important. That is no doubt. All right, so thanks, Lova, for bringing that to our attention. All right, Lilia is in KMX with the 520 crossover. Good. Okay. In-house. Okay. Oh, okay, Steve is also in KMX. Let me see. Wait a minute. I'm out of lemonade, break even after taking some profits, so that's nice. Okay, good. Okay, very good, Lilia. Congratulations, my friend. All right, Steve is also in Steve 132.17. All right, so I'll put that up there, 132.17. Kamal is out of BA. I think we're all out of B. Oh no, Kamal is out of BA. In U. All right, good luck there, Kamal. Gary is also out of BA. Out of SCSO. And in U. All right, there's Gary and Kamal. That's a good duo right there on you. David is also in U. And out of AMD. Yeah. Okay. David is also out of BA. I think that's everybody on Boeing. Yeah, it was a bummer. We bought that and then that news came out the very next day. That was unfortunate. Hey, Greg, I also like Haas. I'm in at 97 even. All right. All right, so I'll just put quad up there. Thumbs up as always. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Mamal is out of Lemonade, out of Amazon, in you, and plus 5. What did old Amazon do today? Hey, it was up again. Look at that. Exactly at 70. I don't blame you. That was a great risk to reward ratio, great trade. Johan is out of Clove. In U. In IntelliDoc. And with the false breakout to the downside, higher low V1. Good. Good risk to reward ratio there. Lova says, thank you for everything, Greg, Steve, Kamal, and everybody. Thank you, Lova. Appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. So I hope I didn't miss out on anything here. Berkshire held above 70, so that's good. GPN, trailing stop level. MasterCard, trailing stop level. Netflix didn't squeak by me, did it? No, it held there good. All right. All right, so listen, before we go, I just like to read this every day to everybody. It's a nice little saying. I think it's something we should all consider doing, but if we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. By Martin Cordfeld. Let's go out and do that today. Let's go out and do one nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal. Let's make it a goal. It's going to make them feel better. It's going to make you feel better. And that would be one way to really improve this world if everybody just went out of their way to did one act of kindness to a human and one to an animal. That would just be fantastic. So anyway, just want to leave you off with this. Gary says, thank you, Greg. Enjoy the day, everyone. Thank you, Gary. You enjoy the day as well. If anybody has any other questions for me, let me know. This would be the time. Otherwise, I'm going to go hiking. It's a beautiful day here in Utah. I am teaching tonight. So Carlos, if you're out there, looking forward to that. And also too, if you could hit that thumbs up button, I would appreciate it. I've been having thumbs up button issues with YouTube. Doesn't matter how many I have, they take them away like later in the day. It's kind of a bummer, but Jonathan says, cheers, guys. Thank you, Jonathan. Mamal says, have a great day. All right, so the board is getting bigger, everyone. It is getting bigger, pretty big, I would say. And a lot of it's me, too. But it looks like I have lots of positions, and I do, but I've been scaling and scaling and taking half and scaling and taking half. So I hope that makes sense. Why it looks like there's so many. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Do something nice for somebody, animal, human. Drive safe. Read some trading books. Get some fresh air. Be good. That's always a good one, right? So we shall see what tomorrow brings. What did the indexes? Okay, so they all ended up down. They all ended up down. There's a lot of green on here for ending up down. So that's a positive. Let's try to always take something positive out of that. So. All right, we'll hopefully see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.